In this session on meteorology, we will study on pressure and wind. Lecture number 1. General features of pressure and wind. Pressure gradient. Let it be delta P, gives air motion, and air in motion is called wind, and this air motion or wind can be of horizontal as well as in vertical direction. Generally, the horizontal wind, what we are calling as the so-called wind, that is, it is has three components: S component, Y component, and Z component. This is the so-called horizontal wind, and horizontal winds we will measure through cup anemometers. Whereas the vertical component, we have to use some special instrumentation. One such instrumentation is sonic anemometer, and the another one is propeller type of anemometer. Okay, so what we are experiencing, this is so called horizontal wind, and at the same time that is horizontal, and there is an Z component, it is so called vertical wind, and vertical wind is negligibly small. Say if you compare horizontal wind and your vertical wind, what we can see, the vertical wind, that is 100 to 1000 times of vertical wind will provide the horizontal, or the value of, or if the comparison of horizontal wind and vertical wind is in this fashion, that is, say here the vertical component will be, say it can be even 0.1 meter per second or even 0.05 meter per second, that is negligibly small. But at the same time, horizontal wind, you know, even it can exceed 130 meter per second in the so-called the weather phenomena tornado. Okay, so this is the comparison between horizontal wind and vertical wind. Wind carries, say we have our earth, this is the high latitude area, and this area is low latitude, that is near equator. This is 90 degree north and 90 degree south, so called polar region. Wind carries colder air from polar region to low latitudes, or high latitudes to low latitudes, and you know this, the near equator or the low latitudes are having surplus radiant energy. Okay, and here the polar regions are characterized by deficit of radiant energy. Okay, so these polar regions are characterized by colder air, but whereas here hotter region, this is hotter, and here this region colder. So wind carries colder air towards low latitudes characterized by surplus radiant energy, or there is a transportation from the deficit of radiant energy region to surplus radiant energy region attributed by wind flow. Okay, and the another point what we have to know, the area of subsidence, that is if the air motion is from up to down, or this is called subsidence, that is air motion down are regions of clear sky. Okay, and whereas the areas of divergence are regions of, that is air motion is upward, whereas here air motion is downwards. These regions are characterized by clouds and precipitation. Okay, so air motion down called subsidence, air motion up called diverging air motion or divergence. Okay, now and this atmospheric motion or air motion or wind are modified by several forces, that is, or air motion controlled by, one is the so-called our gravity of earth, and the gradient in atmospheric pressure delta P, and friction of earth or frictional force, and the rotation of earth. Okay, later we will see this rotation of earth, the specific name called Coriolis force. Okay, that is the force generated by rotation of earth called Coriolis force. And we must know air pressure or atmospheric pressure say I am considering a particular level of observation. This is the level of observation. Okay, the atmospheric pressure is nothing but the weight of unit area of air above the point of observation. That is, this is the weight of atmospheric pressure is nothing but the weight of air for this unit area, and the sea level pressure we will take as 1013.2 millibar. In meteorology we may express the unit in millibar. Unlike in physics, you will tell it as Newton per meter square. Okay, or we will call as hectopascal. Okay, so this will be sea level pressure or mean sea level pressure. We will take as 1013.2 millibar, and the relation between millibar and Pascal, that is 1 millibar equal to 10 square Pascal or 10 square Newton per meter square. Clear? And we must know atmospheric pressure varies with height and place to place and even time to time. That is, with atmospheric pressure varies with height, place and time of the day. Okay, but what we can see among all this, variation of pressure with height is the dominant feature. Okay, so that is delta P by delta Z, that is vertical variation is a dominant feature compared to, that is, it is very greater than, say, let it be delta P by delta X or delta Y or delta Y. Okay, and the vertical variation of pressure is happening due to compressibility of air, and this compressibility of air is the sole agency for the variation of pressure with height. And what we must know, due to compressibility of air, the pressure, if you take with respect to height, this is, let it be pressure, and this is, let it be Z or height, this let it be in millibar. What you can see, it will take one such variation. And in the lower atmospheric region, what we can see, this, the variation of pressure with height, we can take it as, let it be dP by dZ is of the order of 1 millibar per 10 meter. Okay, so this is the structure, and this structure is attributed by due to compressibility of air. And in the globally, if you see the horizontal variation of pressure or sea level pressure variation globally, what you can see, it may ranges from, say, 10 on an average 1050 millibar to down value of around 950 millibar. This is the horizontal variation, but no doubt this is the very deep variation or very dominant variation you can see in dou P by dou Z, sorry, dP by dZ. But here in the global level, if you see, the pressure can range from 950 millibar to, or the lowest value of 950 millibar to 1050 millibar, and even extreme values you can anticipate around 1084 millibar over the Siberian region. Siberia, and the lowest value of around 876 can experience in the region of Pacific typhoon. Okay, Pacific Asian cyclones are called typhoon, and the Atlantic Ocean, if you see Atlantic Ocean, it will be called as hurricanes, and in Indian Ocean region, the cyclones will be called as cyclones. Okay, these are the various names. So the horizontal pressure variation globally, what you can see, it can range even from 876 millibar to 1086 millibar. It's the extreme lowest value of this much can experience over the region of Pacific typhoon, and extreme highest value you can experience over Siberian area. Say now we will take Indian region. I am taking the horizontal distribution of pressure at a fixed elevation, say at the surface. Okay, say the points which have same atmospheric pressure, say 1012 millibar, 1012 millibar. If I am uniting or if I am connecting, this will be called as an isobar. Okay, the points of same atmospheric pressure value for a particular elevation will represent a, this will be called as a surface chart. Okay, so on a map at a fixed elevation we can connect a line with same mean sea level pressure. It will provide the isobar. Say here another isobar I can anticipate of, say around 10, let it be 14 millibar. Okay, so but at the same time, you know, stations are at different elevations. So you know, even our Indian climatology, if you see, it is ranging from sea level to even Mount Everest. Okay, so the being stations are at a different elevation, in order to make comparison we must deduce the mean sea level pressure, or simply sea level pressure, from station level pressure. Okay, then this mean sea level pressure will be plotted here. That is, these stations will represent mean sea level pressure. That is, even the tallest, even mountainous region, or even the station which are below sea level, either below sea level or above sea level, first we have to convert those sea level pressure to or station level pressure to mean sea level pressure in order to make a comparison of station among each other. So say we will call as low pressure. Low pressure is nothing but, already if we have a map, say in this map, this area, if it is characterized by say 1000 millibar, and but whereas here it is, let it be 1002 millibar, this region totally we will call as it is of low pressure area. Okay, this is an India map. This is the low pressure, that is for low pressure area or simply low, the pressure has lowest value compared to its surroundings. Compared to its surrounding, there will be low value. And if there is a fairly recognizable center, say if for this, if I am making a fairly recognizable center, say 998 millibar, or even say 1002 millibar I am taking, say this is fairly recognizable. Earlier one was a vast region of low pressure, but whereas here you are seeing a specific contour of 1002 millibar, and such area on a weather map, it will be called as low pressure. Okay, depends on the value or intensity of low pressure, it can be further characterized as well marked low, or even depression low, or even deep depression, various cyclonic stages. Okay, so depends on, that is at that time what we have to, that is if it is further intensifying, this if the the specific low or this contour is intensifying further, and what we can see, there is an inward very lowest pressure, and outward there will be a rings of pressure contours we can see, and depends on this intensification we will characterize the low pressure as low, well marked low, depression, deep depression, and various cyclonic stages. And here first we have seen there is an area of extensive area of low pressure compared to surroundings. Extensive area, that there we called as just a low pressure area. Then what we have seen, there is a fairly recognizable contour of low, that is called low. And if it is, if this low pressure is having several rings or several contours, what we can see as depends on the intensity of this low pressure. We can call it as well-marked low, depression, deep depression, or cyclonic stage. But if there is no identifiable center of low, but only an elongated region of low pressure, say I am seeing one isobar in this fashion, another isobar I am seeing in this fashion, another isobar in this fashion. That is, there is no well marked or there is no identifiable center of low. Here I am marking as, let it be 998 millibar, and this let it be 1000, and this let it be 1002. Say generally this in tropics, we must be aware that the difference of pressure between isobar to isobar should be of 2 millibar. The reason is the standard deviation of atmospheric pressure over this region of tropics, if you see, it will come within this bounds of around 2 millibar. That is the main reason. And here I am marking as 998 millibar, 1000 millibar, and 1002 millibar, and say that is when I am moving towards inside. Say from here I am just walking towards inside, I will encounter a line of lowest pressure, and this line will be called, or this pattern will be called, a trough or trough of low pressure. Okay, clear? So there is no specific extensive area, or there is no specific the fairly recognizable areas, but there is an elongated, or if no identifiable center of low, only elongated region of low pressure. The feature is referred to as trough of low. Here what you can see, plus one more thing, the from outward to inward, if one walks, what we can see, he will encounter with the lowest value as he enters to the core of this shape, and this dotted line will be called as trough. And these are the regarding low pressure. But if you come across high pressure, if there is an extensive area of high pressure, it will be called area will be called as high pressure area, extensive area of high pressure. So no doubt this extensive area must be of same elevation, and if there is a fairly recognizable center, say if there is a fairly recognizable center, say I am putting as 1014 millibar, and here let it be 1012 millibar. That is, compared to nearby surroundings, there is a fairly recognizable center of high pressure. It will be called as a typical high or typical high pressure. Clear? And this earlier what we have seen in the case of a low or recognizable low, here if I am seeing a low pressure, what we can see in the northern hemisphere, what we can see, the winds will encircle in an anti-clockwise fashion. And if for this high pressure it will be of, say, if this is a high pressure in the northern hemisphere, winds will be rotating clockwise direction. That is, here it will be called as cyclonic, and here it will be called, the winds will be called as in anticyclonic direction. Okay, so the low pressure is characterized by cyclonic circulation and high pressure is characterized by anticyclonic circulation in the northern hemisphere. But whereas in the southern hemisphere, opposite will be true. That is, the low pressures are characterized by clockwise wind flow, whereas the high pressure regions are characterized by anti-clockwise. This is 0 degree equator. This is the southern hemisphere. This is northern hemisphere. And here also, here you have seen there is no fairly recognizable center of low. There is not an extensive area of low pressure. Then we got a term called trough. But in the case of the high pressure region, if there is no recognizable region of high pressure, say I am drawing the same picture. Okay, say inside I am getting, let it be 1014 millibar. Here let it be 1012 millibar, 1010 millibar. Say one walk from here to, say if one man walks from here to here towards inside, but he will encounter a region of highest pressure. That is this line, it will be called as, that is this line, it will be called as ridge. Ridge line. This is a trough line. Generally this trough line will be shown with a dotted line and a ridge line with a continuous line, ridge line. Okay, so this is the, in the case of a low pressure area, and this is the case of a high pressure area. And the, now no doubt both are for this, either in the case of a trough or ridge, both should be of same elevation. Okay, now say in the case of a cyclone, already we have seen the cyclone is characterized by, in the northern hemisphere, let it be, cyclone is characterized by the surface, there will be a low. Okay, no doubt there will be several contours of low, that is concentric low pressure area, and you know the wind circulation in the northern hemisphere will be, I am taking this type of a, in the cyclonic direction. Okay, and what we can see in the cyclonic storm, intense low at the sea level. Here you can see the mean sea level MSL, there will be intense low. But whereas if you go say around 12 kilometer, you will anticipate a high. Okay, that is intense low pressure area will be experienced at the mean sea level pressure, and but whereas okay, this is the pattern of, no doubt it is cyclonic circulation. So in the mean sea level you can anticipate the intense low, and whereas in around 12 kilometer if you go, you can experience the high pressure region. And now we will study the last portion of general features. So now I am going to consider a plane. Let it be a curved or isobaric plane, that is a plane I am considering of same pressure. Okay, say let it be this, let it represent for 500 millibar surface. No doubt the 500 millibar surface is above our surface, or I mean mean sea level. Mean sea level you have seen it is 1013.2 millibar, and here you have your mean sea level MSL. So in this surface I am taking a particular level. No doubt this is a surface in this fashion, that is here in this fashion there is a surface 500 millibar. No doubt it need not be a straight line over the complete region, say Indian region. 500 millibar surface I can represent as a very vast region of X, that is a specific level. Say here, no doubt if this is 500 millibar, no doubt if I am taking a point here, it can be of 490 millibar. Okay, and if I am taking this height can be around 5300 meter. And here no doubt this is little bit above, and this I can take it as 5500 meter. And here I am taking another, no doubt this, when you reached here, this 500 millibar surface is elevated compared to this place. So here if I am taking this, can be, I can take it as 5700 meter. Okay, then what you have to study from this structure of, or the relation connecting this isobaric surface and the height, that is the isobaric surface, no doubt it varies, that is it will be, or it need not be of a same level, and it can make such a type of a meandering fashion, and such a type of meandering fashion for a specific isobaric level, the height level also varies. That is, you need not anticipate the 500 millibar surface will provide everywhere the same height from the mean sea level. That is, height from the mean sea level differ for a pressure level. That is, if I am taking 700 millibar or 400 millibar, for each place, if you take the height for that particular, say if I am taking 400 millibar surface over the extreme south portion of India or Indian peninsular area, say let it be over Kerala region, and another 500 millibar I am taking around, say, in the Nagpur region, and another 500 millibaric level I am taking in the Delhi region. For all these things, if you take, the difference of height level will be different. So that is the feature of height and pressure level. Okay, with this I will conclude the general features on pressure and wind.